everybody, welcome into another episode of the Talk Anime Podcast. Podcast.
I'm Justin. He's Jared.
Hello.
Welcome back on in, everybody, to another episode of the Talk Anime Podcast. Sponsored by nobody. Nobody sponsors us.
Well, we sort of do.
No, sponsor. Anchor just kind of supports us.
Well, they allow us to post there and host our podcast.
Yeah.
And we have to plug them every episode, so.
True. Good point.
We do have to do that, so thank you, Anchor. You're awesome.
Thanks, Anchor. You're the best. Wink.
Kawaii face.
Kawaii.
What do we got this week, Justin? What funness do we have going on here?
Well, so it's the review. It's our spring 2020 review.
Ooh.
Our COVID-19 review.
Just in the nick of time because summer season was just starting up like yesterday or Friday or something. Like we started getting into some episodes.
Yesterday. I think it started yesterday.
I'm real excited for summer.
Yeah, it'll be good.
So this episode is going to be kind of weird. But before we get into that, definitely give us a like, subscribe, 5-star rating.
YouTubes, if you're on the YouTubes, and then if you're anywhere else, give us a 5-star review and subscribe.
Yes, it helps us immensely.
Yes.
And thank you to all our international listeners. We have a bunch of them.
Yeah, it's very strange, but thank you for listening.
Thank you. We definitely appreciate it. So, like I was going to say, spring review is going to be kind of weird since so many things were affected by the human malware.
It's going to be rather short.
Right.
It's a short list.
Together, Justin and I only watched 4 shows.
4 shows.
That was all that really kept our attention. I watched 3, you watched 2.
Yep.
So there's not going to be a lot of variety. This might be actually a fairly shorter episode, depending upon how long we decide to talk about Tower of God, which we could probably talk about that for an hour alone. But, as usual, there will be spoilers. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers, maybe go check out like our mid-season review, where we'll just give our first thoughts on shows.
Yes.
With less spoilers.
Yes, fewer spoilers.
Fewer spoilers. But anyways, we're going to jump right into this. Our first show that I watched was Kaguya Sama Love is War Season 2.
Woohoo!
My God, this was just as good as the first season to me.
Yeah. I didn't watch this one.
Right. It was absolutely hilarious. Synopsis of the show is, after a slow but eventful summer vacation, Suichen Academy's second term is now starting in full force. As August transitions into September, Miyuki Shirogani's birthday looms closer, leaving Kaguya Shinomiya, I can't talk today, in a serious predicament as to how to celebrate it. Furthermore, the tenure of the school's 67th student council is coming to an end. Due to the council members being in different classes, the only time Kaguya and Miyuki, woo,
struggling there.
It's a struggle today, my friend. Have to be together. Will soon disappear, putting all of their cunning plans at risk. A long and difficult election that will decide the fate of the new student council awaits as multiple challengers fight for the coveted title of president. Oh man. Like I was saying, this second season was just as ridiculous with the antics between our two main characters, Kaguya and Miyuki, just trying to get the other to confess that they like each other.
Yeah.
But definitely, it took a little bit of a backseat to that, to a certain degree in some episodes, where we did get a lot more character development for, like, Ishigami. He had probably the most character development because he didn't come into the first season till like the midway to end point.
Yeah.
So you get a lot more background for his story, and it is some heartbreaking stuff. Like, it gets real sad for 2 episodes near the end of the season where, like, the reason he's kind of a loner now is he got, like, framed by this guy that he said Ishigami was like stalking his girlfriend, but the guy was just a real doucher, like trying to pawn off his girlfriend, and he was cheating on her all the time. It was just
sounds like a winner to me.
It was awful. Absolutely awful. So, we got some really cool character development there, like where things ended up like looking up for him. He joined the cheerleading squad at the school, and then started making some more friends at the end of that little mini arc of his. But besides like that sad moment, it was just filled with all sorts of the typical antics in the show between our two main characters, like I said, trying to get each other to confess to each other. Some of my favorite episodes is where Miyuki is really excited about a certain full moon, so he drags the entire student council up to the rooftop to look at that, and he's like not acting himself. Was one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Which was absolutely hilarious. I really can't like praise this show enough for how funny it is. Like the antics by Chika in it as well is just amazing. You got a fun card game where she was cheating.
Did they have the dance though, Jared?
No, they didn't do a dance. Which I'm honestly I'm fine with. They did like tons of stuff with her.
Not worth it. Don't watch. 1 star.
Lies. 5 stars. So good. They didn't have an ending, but I felt like that was for the best. Otherwise, it would have just felt like they were just trying to copy the first season too much.
Right.
But the second season, just so many funny moments that like you have like probably 3 to 5 different segments for each episode. So you have all these different things. Like it started out with them or with like Kaguya getting bummed out that the student council is coming to a close. It went into the summer vacation, which they had talked about in the first season with fireworks and stuff. And it's just so good. I really can't like say or describe just how funny the show is. You just have to watch it. It's like one of the best like pure comedy animes I've seen in forever, since the first season.
Okay.
But what did you watch, Justin?
So the one other one that you didn't watch with me was Otome Game no Hametsu Flag Shika Nai Akyaku Reiju ni Tensei Shiete Shiyamada, which is my next life as a villainess. All routes lead to doom. And so it's basically its tags are a comedy, a drama, fantasy, romance, and school. So yeah, I mean, it's basically a girl. So the premise is, after hitting her head particularly hard one day, Duke Kleiss's daughter, Katarina, suddenly recalls all the memories of her past life, that of a teenage Japanese girl. Just before her untimely death, this girl recalls playing an Otome game that is exactly like the world she's living in now. She is now Katarina Kleiss, the antagonist of the Otome game, who nastily hounded the protagonist until the end. Knowing all possible outcomes of the game, she realizes that every single possible route ends with Katarina being murdered or exiled. In order to avoid these catastrophic bad endings, she has to use her knowledge of the game in her own wiles, starting with breaking off this engagement with the prince. Will Katarina survive while making her way through this world where bad flags trip at every turn? Find out in this reverse harem rom-com led by everybody's favorite villainess. And so it's a goofy show. It's pretty goofy. It's fun to watch these stereotypical anime types or tropes be tipped on its head in favor of, rather than your standard male protagonist having all of the attention from everybody, it now being a female protagonist in that place.
Right.
And the situations that she gets put in are pretty funny. Like any of the ones with the prince it's kind of funny because obviously the prince doesn't end up breaking their engagement off or doesn't let her break their engagement off because he actually like loves her, and because she's actually taking the steps to avoid being a bad person. So it's kind of funny because she also has like this inner monologue where it's like a bunch of her little chibi selves just arguing amongst each other about how to be a good person. So it's kind of funny to watch all that go down. Where the story kind of falls short is like the overall, like, I don't know, the pacing's kind of weird. It's a little off. And I mean, like at times it feels like it's moving like a mile a minute, but then other times it feels like it's dragging. Like, the tail end of this show this season, I think for me at least, I think it really kind of slowed down. Which is weird because you would think it would actually be picking up. Like,
Right.
I don't know. And the villain itself, the guy who ends up being the villain, he's kind of lame, to be honest. Like, I don't really find him to be overly, like, I don't know. He's just kind of annoying and dumb at the end. Like, it ends up being, I don't know. I don't want to go too much into it, but it ends up, I guess I'll go ahead and spoil it. The villain ends up being the class president. And he has like dark magic. I forget what the class president's name. Oh, Sirius Deke. Sirius Dick. Sirius Deke. I'm dead serious.
That's amazing.
I'm dead serious. That's his name. Sirius
Oh
Deke.
my gosh.
I'm
That
dead
is
serious.
absolutely hilarious. I love it.
Hilarious. Yes, he's this
Holy.
redheaded fuck that so he's supposed to be the class president. He's supposed to be so nice and what have you, but so he's a second-year student and the president of the student council who played a side role in the Otome game that the now Princess Katarina Kleiss played back in her previous life. So he was the side role in Fortune Lover, which is the name of the Otome game. He possesses a fabled dark magic, which he obtained by like basically a dark sorceress being his aunt, sacrificing his mom in order to try and bring back her son. And this is where it kind of gets a little annoying because like the ending is just so ridiculous. Like, because you find all this out like right at the end. Like there's this big exposition dump. It's really lame. Like you don't really see, there's not like before like the last 2 episodes, Sirius Deke has like he has no real role in this story at all. Like he's just kind of in the background.
Yeah.
And then you come to find that he's actually like the villain of the story. And so basically
sorry, go ahead.
So he's the second villain in a secret route where if the main protagonist did not conquer him, if one goes down that path, all the characters are killed, leading to the ultimate bad ending. Which they avoid doing that, obviously, because they had already announced the second season, so you already know that.
Right.
Like it doesn't even matter. Like you know that it's not coming to an end, so it's like okay, there's no real threat. You already know he's not going to pose a real threat because of the fact that they've already announced the second season coming out. But other than that, like the characters are actually there's some pretty. They're pretty solid, I think, anyway, for the most part. Some of them are a little one-dimensional, but they are a little, but some of them are pretty good. Like Katarina, the main character, she's a blast every time. Her brother, her step brother?
Yeah, step
Adopted brother.
Oh, yeah.
Adopted. Keith Kleiss. He's a lot of fun too. The prince is also pretty good. Giordo Stewart. He's pretty great. I like Giordo. He's a pretty funny guy. I don't know. I just kind of get annoyed. Like I said, I think I found myself towards the end of the series getting really annoyed with it and just bored. Just because they weren't. I don't know. They just weren't building up to where you felt like Katarina was gonna actually like get a bad ending. Like because all the characters loved her. There was this one subplot where what's his name, Sirius Deke, ends up brainwashing some of the classmates, some of the female classmates that that were consistently bad and were picking on the main character of the Otome game, which I believe her name was Anne Shelley. No, that's not Anne Shelley. That is Maria Campbell. So she's technically the main protagonist of this Otome video game. And so Katarina's going out of her way to be friends with her, which means she's protecting her from like all the other like female bullies that are in the game. Right. And so towards the end there, which kind of leads to how they end up finding out that Sirius Deke is the bad guy.
God, that kills me every time.
Every time is the bad guy. Is he ends up brainwashing all the like bully characters into trying to say that like, oh no, this was all Katarina. She was making us do all this, blah blah blah, which doesn't end up working at all. Like, because she has already made friends with literally all the other main characters in the story, and they all end up coming to her rescue and saying, no, that's not true. She's a good person. Like, we love her. She's great. I don't know. Like, I think this show, it was fine for the season that it came out. Like, the fact that there was nothing else to watch, and this was a passable show. I think that's why I mostly enjoyed it, was because there was really nothing else to watch, and so this was okay enough to where I was like, okay, I can, for the most part, sit down and watch this and get a couple laughs in. But like I said, towards the end, it just kind of got old and boring, and they didn't really do anything new, and the villain was terrible. So the second season's coming out. I don't know when. I don't remember when they announced.
I think they announced it for next year.
Yeah. Am I gonna?
If they didn't, I would assume it's next year.
Yeah. Am I gonna return to it? Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I tried to get into it, and I gave it like 5 episodes, so I got through about half of the show.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I could not, like, grasp onto any of the characters, really. Like, well, I really didn't care about any of them for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the only parts I really enjoyed a lot was when the main character, what's her name, Katarina?
Yeah, Katarina.
Is when she would, like, have the debates in her head with herself.
Yeah, right.
Like, her different versions of herself in her head. Like, I thought that was absolutely hilarious, and I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, there was only, like, small little snippets here and there where I could actually, like, get into the show and where it, like, pulled me in.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Otherwise, I felt like I would try to sit down and watch it, but it didn't grasp my attention enough to where I could, like, focus on the show.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, towards the end, it did start to feel more like a chore that I had to watch this, and less enjoyable.
Right. It wasn't like pretty much, and actually not even pretty much, like every other show for me that I did watch this season, or started to watch before they got delayed. Like, Digimon didn't feel like a chore to me before it got delayed, neither did Ramon.
No,
it didn't feel like a chore to watch. I was actually excited to watch it. I just didn't have that excitement.
No,
like,
I was never
I can't wait to watch Villainous this week.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Not to say it was a bad show, but
no, it's like I said, it's not a bad show. It's okay. If you're really into this kind of anime, like the isekai reverse harem rom-com kind of thing, then you'll probably like it. But for me, it was just because it was literally there was nothing else to watch. So.
Right. And it wasn't like Tower of God where there was like a watch party where a bunch of us would watch the episode every single week together.
Exactly.
So
I mean, I think scale 1 to 10, I don't know, probably in 5 is my average, y'all. So if it's above a 5, then it's generally, pretty good. If it's below a 5, this one's probably like a 4-7.
Really? I would have put it like right at a 5.
Nah, it's not at a 5.
Yeah, like I could probably sit
Like I said,
down
it
and
becomes
watch all the
more of a
episodes with
chore.
somebody, but
Yeah.
I would probably play on my phone more than anything else.
Yeah, like I said,
That's kind of my sliding scale. How
Yeah.
much do I play on my phone while I watch an episode?
right. Like I don't know. For me, it just if I'm on my phone, typically it's like a 5. Like if I'm, I don't know. Like if I'm on my phone and what have you,
Maybe
I'm
like a
not really
4.7
paying
might be
attention.
right. Yeah, somewhere
thinking
between like a
4.7.
4.5 to 5.
Yeah, I think a 4.7's about what it deserves. Yeah,
That
so.
sounds about right. If we're
You
gonna
didn't
give out
rate the other
reviews,
one.
I would say for like Kaguya Sama, I would give that like a solid, probably 8.5.
That's fine. I mean, it's not my scale, so it's your scale at that
Right,
point.
that's my scale for that one. But the next show that I watched this spring season was Sing Yesterday for me.
I can kind of talk about this one too. I watched a little bit of it.
Right, you got what? I think 2 episodes in.
No, I got like 3, 4, so 3 or
Wow.
4 episodes. I got pretty decent. Like I think it was just before the movie theater date.
Yeah, I think that's episode 3.
Okay, then yeah, I think I got through episode 3, and that's when I stopped. I think.
Yeah. So, the synopsis for Sing Yesterday for me is Riku's Uzumi has all but resigned himself to a bleak future, aimlessly working at a convenience store in Tokyo after graduating from college. His monotonous life is interrupted when the peculiar Haru, Nanaka, makes a lively appearance, frequently dropping by his workplace to befriend him. Riku learns that an old college friend and crush, Shinako Moriyami, has moved back into town. He reaches out to further their relationship. Unbeknownst to Riku, however, Shinako is carrying painful memories from her past that were holding her back from accepting his feelings. Meanwhile, as Haru continually opens up to Riku, he discovers that she, much like him, is living by herself and wants to step out of her comfort zone into an uncertain future. The past lingers long in the mind and the future remains elusive. At a crossroads along their intertwined paths, these 3 experience what it means to let go their feelings of yesterday and embrace the change that tomorrow brings. So I absolutely loved this show. It's not. I know it's not your style. It is like hardcore slice of life.
It's very
Like,
much a slice of life. Yeah.
A lot of just everyday monotonous things.
And it's not even that I have an issue with. I just have a real issue with what's his name? Rukio? Yeah, Uzumi.
Yeah.
I don't like Rukio at all. I don't like him. I think I don't know. I don't know. I'll let you talk a little bit, and then like maybe that'll let me think a little bit as to my explanation behind that.
Fair enough. He was definitely frustrating at some points between like trying to get over his feelings for Shinako.
Yeah.
And that's like it. So it was frustrating, but like in a good way that you want from this type of a show. Like it really starts out with him not caring about a lot of stuff, not knowing what direction he wants to go in life at all. And that's really like the center focus of the show is like people struggling to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. As frustrating as it would get at times with like essentially like a love triangle that turns into a love square to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have Uzumi, who has trouble conveying his feelings to Shinako, but eventually does, and then struggles with like between having feelings for her for all this time, and then he does have some feelings at certain points for Haru, which Haru is amazing. I love her.
Haru.
Haru is great. Like throughout the entire show, I was constantly just like yelling at Uzumi, just pick Haru. She's best girl. She's
That's
awesome.
I don't
she
understand.
actually has like strong feelings for you and keeps
Shinako
acting
sucks.
on them.
I think this is why I don't like Shinako. Sucks. She's the worst.
No, she actually doesn't. Like
No, she sucks.
you didn't get far enough into it.
Nah, she sucks.
Like the reason that she has like issues like moving forward in a relationship with someone is because where she grew up in another town. She was in love with somebody there who ended up dying of like a terminal illness. And
Right, I know that.
That's where she has like the issues of like wanting to let somebody else into her life in
Yeah,
a romantic way. And
but she still sucks because she's just leading Uzumi on. That's my problem. She's not really going
she
for it.
does lead him on to a degree. And then you have Hayakawa, who comes in, who was the boy that she was in love with in her old town. That's his little brother. And then he obviously has like some sort of feelings for her, but there's so much of an age gap there. It's more of like she cares about him and like he's a little brother to her than more than anything else. Like his character was kind of annoying to me. I didn't really like his character for the most part, and it felt
I don't think I ever met him.
No, you didn't get far enough.
No.
I wasn't a huge fan of him for the most part, but he would always it seemed like he always popped up in the show whenever they needed a reason to like drive a little bit of a wedge between like Uzami and Shinako. So, but like the movie theater date episode with Haru, where Riku ends up doing something with Shinako. I think she was sick or something. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, he ended up, I think, taking care of her.
He was taking care of her and then missed his date with Haru while she waited at his apartment in the rain.
Yeah, like that was shit.
Like, oh man.
Bullshit.
And then like she quit talking to him and then he had to go make up to her, and it was a really cute episode at the end when that happened, where he happened to just run into her, and that was adorable. And then you get the rest of the show after that is like Haru never like has her feelings like reciprocated by Riku.
That irritates me.
So, and then the ending did feel a little rushed of this show, because in the end, like the last 3 episodes, like it's pretty much him and Shinako, and they're like all pals, and then they end up dating for a hot second, and it does like a flash forward in time a little bit.
Yeah.
Where they finally realize, yeah, we're not meant to date. We're just meant to be friends. And then in that same episode, that's when he like goes back to Haru, and that's when they actually get together and have a relationship in the very last episode. But it felt very rushed at the end. Like it needed another episode or two to really like drive home the relationship between him and Haru, because it happened in like half an episode.
Right.
But I really did enjoy the show. It had some really fun aspects to it where it didn't have an opening song, and you just kind of like
you just dropped
went right into the story. And then the ending portion of the series, like for most of the episodes till towards the end, you would have different graphics around like the credits, and then around like a little picture frame usually of like what was happening in the show for that episode. And the different graphics on the side were different things that happened in the show, which was really cool. Yeah. They did abandon that at some point towards the end, and I'm wondering if that's because of the human malware.
Probably.
Where they just started doing the same ending, but it was a really cute ending where it was just on like a video game arcade console, and it was a fun game.
Yeah.
It was really cute, and the ending songs were really good.
Yeah.
And I thought
did they ever play Yesterday by the Beatles?
They did not.
Well, then
I'm assuming they couldn't afford the rights to that.
What would you give it out of 10?
I think I'd give it a solid like 7.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it for the most part. Like,
okay, that's a rookie number, but that's okay. It's fine.
A rookie number.
Usually, you got to give it you got to give that decimal point. You know.
No, I think it's right at 7.
That's a rookie number.
Maybe a 6.8.
You mean not a 6.9?
Not a 6.9, no.
Not a 6.9. All right.
Like it was very enjoyable. I actually looked forward to watching it. I did I did binge it maybe 3 times, like 3 big bulk watches of it, where I watched like the first like 4 episodes, and I watched another bunch of episodes, and I watched like the last like 4 or 5 episodes. Which I felt like this is the type of show that you really just want to sit down and like watch the whole thing in one sitting.
Right. You probably could too. I mean,
oh yeah, it's only 12 episodes long.
Yeah.
But it was a fun show. I really enjoyed it, and definitely would recommend it to anybody who likes a slice of life.
Yeah. I'm not gonna rate it. Like I said, I really had an issue with the main character Uzumi. I do not like him. I think it's just because he whines too much. Honestly, I think he whines.
Didn't really feel that whiny.
He felt whiny to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was just indecisive, and that was kind of the point.
That was what was dry. Yes, exactly. He was indecisive. It drove me up a wall.
Point to the character to a degree.
Yeah, I know, but that just irritates me. Just wasn't for me. Didn't like it. I won't rate it though because I only watched the first 3 episodes. So
fair enough. That leads us in to probably our favorite show of the season. I would say by far, right?
Yeah, easily. Oh yeah, easily. It could honestly be, but depending on what comes out the rest of the year, could be show of the year. Honestly,
it really could. And even though like the entire first season by the end just felt like a synopsis for like what is to come.
It really did.
If you haven't guessed yet, it's Tower of God.
Tower of God.
My God, this was so good.
It was very good.
I had to recommend it in the beginning to Justin, but it really picked up.
Right.
Oh.
I mean, the synopsis, once again, I think even when we were doing our spring premiere episode, it still tells you literally nothing. Reach the top and everything will be yours. At the top of the tower exists everything in the world, and all of it can be yours. You can become a god. This is the story of the beginning and the end of Rochelle, the girl who climbed the tower so she could see the stars, and Bam, the boy who needed nothing but her.
Man. So we haven't had anything spoiled for us, but we have, we know 2 people who have, read the entire webtoon. Yeah. And they are just there was so much content for this. Yeah. I was worried because I didn't know.
I was wondering because, they were saying that it's only going to be 12 episodes, or 13 episodes. And I was like, we're getting towards the end here. I'm like, I don't know what they're going to do here.
Right. And then after the 13th episode, we're like, oh, they are just setting up the entire rest of the series. That's what this was. It was like My Hero Academia first season, where it's just setting up the entire universe and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, this first episode of this series, I don't know, it did not receive. It received kind of mixed reviews at the beginning there
from a lot of people. Yeah, and that actually made me want to watch it more to see if all the hype was for nothing. Yeah. And I watched it and I was like, man, I really like this.
Yeah, I mean, I texted you. I think I was the one that was like, yes, this show is actually pretty good.
Yeah. After I remember it's because I had told you to watch it. I was like, hey, you should check this out because it's actually pretty good.
Yeah. It is. It is very good. I don't even know where to begin with this show. It's very good.
Right. It starts off Rachel gets brought into the tower. Bam follows shortly. Yeah. And is just trying to follow her through the tower, trying to catch up to her.
Basically.
But, yeah, you run into all these really awesome characters. Rack is best boy. I freaking love Rack.
Yeah, Rack is best boy.
Rack is this giant lizard.
The alligator or crocodile or whatever.
Yeah, alligator crocodile that stands on 2 legs and fights with a giant spear and calls everybody turtles. By the color of their hair. So Bam is a black turtle.
Yeah, whatever the color of your clothing is, that's what color turtle you are.
Right. I think what Coon was blue turtle.
Coon is blue turtle.
Yeah.
Bam is black turtle.
And it's so good. Bam is just kind of like he's not even really overpowered at this point, I would say either.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's overpowered to a degree that he has the ease of passing some of these tests. But he also gets a lot of help. Yeah, he's an irregular.
Yeah. He does receive a lot of help, but I mean, I think towards the end of the series we see him getting more and more kind of being able to rely on himself and less on those around him.
Right, and I think that's what's kind of leading into, like, he's going to have to actually rely on himself when we do get a season 2, because I guarantee you there's going to be a season 2 of this.
Oh yeah, no, there is. It's already been announced.
Did they actually announce something?
It has
officially?
Been announced. It doesn't say when. I don't think they've said when, but yeah, no, it is.
I would assume next year at some point. Crunchyroll's not going to want to sit on this one, especially when like all this content has already been made for it.
Right? Yeah, like I think it's done. Right? It's done.
I don't know if it's done or not.
I'm pretty sure it is. I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure it is done.
Not sure with that, but I will say like Bam is kind of boring for most of the show.
I mean, he's just your plain white bread milk toast character.
Right.
There's
and I think
really
his character, that was one of my complaints for the first half of the show.
Yeah.
We really don't get much from Bam besides him just wanting to catch up to Rachel, you know?
That's the thing, like I found myself not really even caring about Bam. I was just like, I don't really care what he thinks.
There.
Yeah. He's just kind of there. I was like, Coon's where it's at. Love Coon. He's a great guy.
Yeah, like I liked Coon right off the bat, same as Rack.
Coon and Rack.
As soon as we're introduced to those characters,
fantastic.
I think in the second episode,
yeah,
I was like, yeah, I love both of these characters. They are excellent.
Yeah, I love both of them. They're great characters. And then you get the various princesses of Jihad, which is Anak Jihad and what's the other gal's name? I can't remember.
Well, there's Yuri that you have in the very first episode that gives Black March to
right,
Bam.
and she's pretty cool. I like her.
And you have Endorsi.
Yeah, Endorsi.
Which I like her.
I really like Endorsi.
Like I enjoy really like her rivalry with Anak. I think their fights are definitely fun.
Yeah, their fights are a lot of fun.
Like a lot of the stuff is fun with the tests. Like
the tests are the tests are actually really interesting to watch. Yeah.
Right. Like I thought they got pretty interesting like around the coffee test where they had to pick the right door.
Yeah.
Which could be any door. You just had to pick one before 5 minutes.
Yes, you just had to pick one.
So that was like the episode where I started really enjoying like the tests in the tower.
Yeah.
The one where they had to beat the one of the what were they? The testers?
Yeah, the proctors or the examiners.
Yeah, where they had to beat Blitz.
Rankers.
I was like, what was that name? Where they split into two teams and had to beat Blitz.
Yeah,
I thought those episodes were really fun.
Mm-hmm. Those were really cool episodes. I think
where
so,
like Coon was like, well, we already know like you and I are like the most important people are already going to pass in his test. So he was just like, all right, well,
yeah. So let's just say, well, screw all these other people and just basically just let him
because he wanted Bam to be able to
let him
pass.
get caught, let him get got.
And that's when you had Endorsi pulling the fast one on Blitz. Like, oh, I thought that was so fun and clever.
I loved it.
And there's just so many good characters in the show.
There's a lot of really good characters. I love
like you said, like
Leoro.
Leoro. Yeah.
Yeah. He's really cool. I like Leoro.
Yeah, he's really fun.
I'm still trying to figure out what this the main proctor, the blonde guy, Yu Han-sung. I'm still trying to figure out what his deal is.
There's so much we just don't even know yet. Like, I really like the guy. What is it, Lori? Lore, the guy who sleeps all the time.
Yeah, oh yeah, Laura. Yeah, he's pretty great. I love him.
Like he'll just pop up, or like Shimizu or Shimizu,
Which
the
one?
guy in the tracksuit.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Shimizu. Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty good
Like
too.
he's so, like, it's so good.
There's a lot of good characters in this show. And then like Coon's brother ends up showing up at one point towards the end there. That was pretty great.
Like I have no idea what's going to happen with that.
Yeah.
Or like we find out one of the people who we thought was taking the exam with them was just a what was they called it, a watcher, I think.
Yeah, he was just a watcher.
Observer.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the chick with the eye
patch.
Yeah, eye patch chick.
And I'm like really curious what's going to happen to her. Like, you know that Bam is going to end up with like Black March again, since he's the only one who seems to be able to actually use it.
Yeah, I mean that's a given. That's going to happen at some point here soon. I mean I think they were even kind of hinting at that because what's her name ends up finding him, right? The eye patch gal. Except she doesn't have an eye patch.
Well, she finds him at the very end.
Yeah.
When he gets betrayed
By Rachel.
Oh my god, I did not see it coming.
I
did not see it coming.
I didn't see it coming either.
She was just distant
pissed.
to him the whole show once he did catch up to her.
Yeah.
And then she just straight up like
I can't stand her. I can't stand her.
I hate Rachel.
Her whole character pisses me off.
Yeah, it's awful. Like she's just jealous of Bam at this point. And that's why she did it, essentially.
That's exactly why she did it.
Yeah, like, because she was told that she wasn't the one that was actually supposed to be summoned to the tower. It was supposed to be Bam.
She's not special.
And she's not special. And the only way that she can climb the tower is if she betrays Bam, and she does.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The end of episode The end of episode 12, I, lost it.
I was so pissed. I texted you. I'm like...
You're like, watch this. Watch this. And I immediately put the episode on. I was so upset. Feeling
some kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it had me so frustrated.
Irritated.
I love the setup where, like, once you get through episode 13, you really finally see that all 13 episodes were just setting up the real part of the show.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's when it's going to get, like, really crazy.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's going to be real good.
Oh, I'm so excited.
But yeah, I think... trying to think what I give this. Probably like an 8-1.
I'd say like an 8-7 for me.
Okay.
Especially since I see like the potential in it.
Yeah, I'm ranking it low because I don't know. I'm the exact opposite of how our stock market works for when it's Elon Musk. I'm not gonna put futures in. I'm not taking into consideration futures. I'm just looking at what the whole artwork is on a whole right now.
Well, I'm also looking at it as like it was the only show this season that I watched every single week on the day it came out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why I said 8-1.
Couldn't wait to watch it.
It's definitely really good, but I think I want to see more. And
I think it would have held up against any show that was originally supposed to air in the spring. Like, I think the only show that would have edged it out for me would have been ReZero.
I don't know.
I don't know if that even would have.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'll find out this season.
Well, yeah.
Because ReZero starts here in like 3 days.
3 days. It's the 8th, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to say, but like,
either the 8th or
this
the 9th.
Is real good.
It is very good, and I would recommend it to anybody. But I'm just saying at where it stands right now, I'd say 8-1.
No, that's still a very solid rating.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's
like because that just gives it a lot more room to move up.
Yeah,
than
exactly.
Mine does.
That's what I'm saying. Plenty of room for it to improve.
That was our
that wraps up the spring 2020 season review. Join us for our midsummer season review.
That'll probably happen like
It'll probably be
see.
3-4
What's
weeks.
our calendar look like
Probably
right
August.
now? It's definitely going to be August. I think this episode, we're recording this on July 5th.
Mm-hmm.
This actually might just go up here in a couple days.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be like that first or second week of August is when we record the mid-season.
Right. I was just kind of looking to see what we have content for. And we have
We have a lot of content right now.
we have the 11th and 18th covered. We need to record the second part of our Joestar July. That'll go up on the 25th of July.
Yep.
And then we don't have anything set for the 1st of August yet. So that might be our mid-season review right there.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for that.
Probably the 1st of August or the 8th of August. We'll see.
Yep. Until then, go ahead and, like we said at the beginning of the show, if you like this show, go ahead and give us a thumbs up on YouTube or a 5-star review wherever you're listening to this in podcast world. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more of our content. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and click on that little bell too, so that way you can be notified immediately of when we upload. Or you can also join our Discord chat at the Talk Anime Podcast on Discord. That link will be in the little diddly-do below on the YouTube. Follow our friends at the Birthday Podcast, which are Wendy, Zach, and Austin, where they talk about Disney titles. And look for any future content that we may be coming out through the Spill the TV podcast production company. And until then, have a good month of July. Hopefully things start to clear up.
Yeah, we'll be back with new episodes in
Gray Sky's got to clear up. Put on a happy
episodes in August that we haven't already planned out.
Yeah. Till then, guys, have a good one. Bye.
Bye.